Multifamily Mindset
Podcast. Think bigger.
Welcome to this episode of the Multifamily Mindset Podcast. My name is Jackson Campbell. I'll be your host for today's episode. I'm very excited about today's guest, a longtime member of Multifamily Mindset who has added so much value to the network. I can't wait to dive into how this person has added so much value to Multifamily Mindset and how that's actually benefited this individual's life. Excited to dive into that. But before we dive in and I actually give you the intro of who this person is, real quick, grab your Peak tickets if you haven't got your Peak Partnership tickets. It's going to be a super, super powerful event. David Goggins, Jamie Kern-Lima, Jim Quick, Tyler Deveraux, Todd Miller. I think Dallas is going to be on stage as well. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event. Definitely get your tickets to that if you haven't yet. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this podcast, first off, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, follow, share wherever it is that you are listening. Definitely reviews help. So if you don't mind like typing a quick little review telling us how awesome we are, telling the guest today how awesome that they are, definitely do that. Maybe in the comments, let us know who your favorite guest has been thus far since the switch. That could be helpful and give us some good insight as well. Let us know. Definitely happy to hear from you. Also, another podcast to subscribe to is Tyler's new podcast, the Own the Outcome podcast. Some really great episodes happening over there. Tyler interviewing some very high level people and just learning about overcoming difficulties. You know, I don't think there's a single high level individual or person who's succeeded, quote unquote, or who has achieved a lot of what it is that they're trying to achieve in whatever space it is without hurdles and without difficulties. Those difficulties are a lot of times what propel you into those amazing opportunities. So definitely tune into that. Give that a listen to. Tyler's stud on there. So definitely give those a like, share, and review as well. Also, just real quick before I jump into the intro, finish the intro of the guest today, I just wanted to give a quick shout out and a quick gratitude to all of the people that I've been able to interview thus far. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know everybody that I've talked to and learning from them and highlighting their stories. It has been an absolute joy to get to know them and to talk to them. Definitely, if you haven't listened to those episodes of those other people that I've interviewed, definitely go back and listen to those. Some really amazing people that deserve your connection. So definitely go back, listen to them, follow, and help, and just connect with those people. Absolutely incredible people, which leads to today's guest, which I'm very excited about. Ellie Baxter is here with us. Ellie, how are you today? Super stoked to have you on.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's dive in. Ellie, you were on the podcast a while ago. Actually, before we kind of highlight how you were on the podcast a while ago, how long have you been with the Multifamily Mindset? And just give us a quick rundown of how that experience has been since you signed up.
So I've been a part of the Multifamily Mindset for about 1.5 years now. And the experience has been absolutely amazing. The Multifamily Mindset has completely changed my life in so many ways, more than, 10 different ways. It's been absolutely incredible. I would not be where I am today, mentally, physically, emotionally, anything without the Multifamily Mindset.
That's awesome. I mean, it's been an amazing, I've been around since you've joined, and it's been amazing to watch your growth and your trajectory and everything that you've accomplished. It's been an absolute joy just to even kind of sit off in the distance and watch. You're an amazing person. You've accomplished quite a bit, even since the last time we interviewed you. I did just kind of allude to how we interviewed Ellie and her business partner at the time, Alicia, about 1 year and 2 months ago. It's been a while since we interviewed them, and a lot has changed for you, Ellie. At that time when we interviewed you, you were still working your 9-to-5, hadn't closed quite on any properties thus far, right? It was a year and 2 months ago. You've been part of the network for 1.5 years. So you were 4 months into the multifamily realm. You were raising capital, trying to get on your first deal, hadn't quite quit your 9-to-5. So give us an update. How did the raise go for that deal? And what's happened over the past year and a little bit?
Yeah. So basically, when we were on that interview with you guys with Tyler, we were still raising for the property. So it was a 382 unit property in Jacksonville, Florida. And we got the opportunity to raise, and we were able to raise, not only were the 500,000 committed to gain your own partnership, but another 500. So we raised $1 million in 3 months, and we were able to close that before the new year. So that was probably one of
That's
like,
huge.
yeah,
That's huge.
I
remember talking to you guys before you went into the episode, and you guys and you guys, like, it was almost like you were deer in the headlights. Like, oh, we committed to help with investor relations on this property and help raise some capital. We committed there. And it was almost like deer in the headlights, but it's like I said, it's been amazing to watch you guys overcome those hurdles and actually raise double what you guys were anticipating to raise, which is incredible. On that note, how did that happen? How did you guys all of a sudden raise literally an extra 500 grand? How did that happen?
Really, your network is your net worth. For anybody that knows me knows that I'm going to get like a huge tattoo on my arm. It's going to say that, because it was literally the only way, like finding the right people and networking and just really adding value to people's lives, and not being afraid to ask people for money, because you're literally teaching them how to make the money grow while they're doing other things in their life. And so it was just connecting with the right people, networking like crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I heard in that, Ellie, is through abundance. Is how you were able to actually raise an extra 500 grand, because it sounds like you weren't out there begging people for money. You were educating and presenting them opportunities to be able to grow their funds, right?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's probably a good indicator on why you guys were able to raise so much. It's a good lesson to learn and actionable item to take away for sure. So since then, you guys were able to close on that deal. Keep updating me, Ellie. What's been going on? 14 months.
Yeah. So since then, I actually, we kind of joined new partnerships. So I met my current partner, Stacey Frill, actually in a multifamily mindset network call that Kim McCall does, once a month. And,
awesome.
yeah, there were like 400 people on, and I was scrolling through the list of people, and all of a sudden I just see this chick with like crazy mad scientist hair. And I was like, oh, she looks like good vibes coming from her. And I manifested that shit, because the very next breakout room, it was just me and her. And so
that's awesome.
300 people, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. And so we started meeting, and I kind of mentor and show her some ideas on how to get where she is now. And I literally, after I left my previous group, I was like so depressed. I was like, what am I going to do now?
Sure.
And one of the large KPs called me and was like, Ellie, I just closed on 7 deals. I want you to pick out one and raise for me. And I was like, okay, this is the universe telling me it's going to be okay. You got this.
Yeah.
And so I called up Stacey and I was like, so like, do you want to like raise $1 million with me? So thus began our new partnership. And so we raised $1 million in less than 2 months and closed on 65 units in Charlotte, North Carolina in August of last year.
That's incredible. You guys, this new partnership that you've joined you guys have been able to take down a ton and be able to do it done. So that one you did in Charlotte, North Carolina, there's a couple other deals. Let's highlight those really quick that you've been able to take down over the past 14 months.
Yeah.
Tell me about those other deals.
So since then, I moved from Seattle to Charlotte to asset manage the property with my team. And that has been just eye-opening. It really shows how much I love it. What better person to asset manage than somebody who's lived in an apartment her whole life? So I was like, this is perfect. So asset managing that. And then we got on a deal with a couple of
real quick, I want to highlight that you moved across the country to continue your career to asset manage. Now, that's not something that we necessarily teach at the Multifamily Mindset, to move to your property and asset management. That's not necessarily a strategy or something that we suggest doing. Why did you decide to do that? That's a big sacrifice. That's a big step.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go all the way out there?
I think it was just like just where I was at. There was really nothing holding me down in Seattle. I just gone through a divorce, and I didn't really have any family there. Really close friends that I still so close to today that really supported me through this whole journey as well. But there really wasn't anything holding me down. And I was like, I would never invest in Seattle because it's very, very high interest rates. So I was like, why not blow Charlotte, North Carolina up and just buy as much property there, because the market here is absolutely fire. And so I was was like, let's take that leap of faith and let's just move across country and start over again. I've done it a few times.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's amazing. And it's not necessarily the conventional way. It's not necessarily the normal way that most people do their multifamily industry and do their multifamily business, right? But you decided, and that's what fit best for you. And you listened to that and you moved across the country, and it has served beneficial. Yeah. How's it been since being out in North Carolina?
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. Stacy and I have become new chapter leaders for Wise Women Invest. So it's a network group that one of the students, Dee Dee Warren, created. And so I started a chapter in Seattle and in Portland. I'm starting a chapter in Charleston, South Carolina, and in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're just trying to get more women in the space. And so we launched that here, and that's going really well. And we just closed a 48 unit last week, and we just actually got back from looking at a 34 unit today. So
That's awesome.
man, we're just trying to buy property left and right.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Sorry, taking a quick note of one of the things that you talked about. I want to make sure we highlight it. Towards the end. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you've been able to acquire a whole bunch, 316, and it sounds like you've been able to make a massive impact with some networking groups. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's incredible. And that definitely has served beneficial for you to move across the country, and has definitely provided a ton of growth for you. You've experienced a lot in the past 14 months, and you've gained a lot of experience. Yeah. And a lot of times when you gain experience, a lot of times the universe will give you opportunities to share that, to continue to grow, right? To continue to grow. You have gotten some pretty cool opportunities to help give back since being able to acquire all these properties. Tell me a little bit about that, giving back and helping others.
Yeah. So one thing that one of my goals for 2023 was to add values as much as I could to students. And so I think that
students so people within the multifamily mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's an amazing goal.
Yeah. So once we hit that 382 units in Jacksonville and we were able to actually experience it and learn, I knew that, a lot of students had actually reached out to us. And so I just ended up just having that be my daily thing where if a student reached out to me, I was like, I got you. And so I would just kind of talk to each student about my experience and what to do and what not to do. Obviously I always said hey, talk to your strategists, talk to your coaches. I'm just somebody who has gone through the multifamily mindset and have been able to learn from them. And so because of that, Jim Anderson, one of the speakers for multifamily, started calling me in and adding me into the 3-day workshops on Zoom. And then at one point he was out in Seattle and in Portland and inviting me to both to help and speak about my journey and where I am today. And then towards one of the last ones, he was like, why are you not a strategist? You should be a strategist. So I was like, I would absolutely love that because there's not enough women strategists. Okay. And I really wanted to add more value to more students. And so thus began the journey of me being a strategist. So, and officially in September of 2023, I was offered it by the amazing Todd Miller. And I was able to start out with previews and help out there and learn a lot and grow from that. And then starting January of this year, I'm doing this full time out on the road during workshops.
That's awesome. So you're doing full-time, helping others, acquiring properties all at the same time. You're definitely busy. Ellie, that's amazing. A year and a half ago, you went through the process that now you're helping other people go through. And this process has changed your life. Obviously, you've acquired a whole bunch of real estate, and I'm sure that's helped you financially, that's helped you professionally, that's helped you developmentally. I don't know if that's the right word, but just as a person, develop into the person that you want to develop into, right, and progress into. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you're working with people and helping them either find the confidence, make the decision to take the step into starting to do multifamily real estate. How's that been, sitting down with people that were very similar to positions that you were in, right? Ed Milet has that quote, "You are most qualified to help the person you once were." Right? That's kind of the situation you're in now. So tell me a little bit about that. What's that experience been like?
Yeah, I definitely think that I can add a little extra layer of support with these students just because I come from the same place. one of my favorite songs is "Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here," and it is true, because I literally came from like just a broken relationship and starting from the bottom, and I really relate to these people that do it. And I've honestly never cried as much as I have like during these workshops. I'm just like, can I hug you? Like, and I just absolutely love the firing passion and of these students that are wanting to do more in their life. And if I can be part of that journey and show them like what can actually happen and to gain financial freedom and freedom of time and generational wealth through this program and through the multifamily mindset, I think that is like my joy. Like it is just absolutely amazing to see these students start from the journey to acquiring properties. And I love being able to see that, being part of that journey.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It takes a selfless individual to actually find joy in that too. And you're definitely that, Ellie. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and see that, and actually you taking steps to be that person that you're talking about right now. It's amazing.
Thank you.
For a lot of people that don't know, that might just be listening, that might not be members of the Multifamily Mindset or students, we have these 3-day workshops. And at these 3-day workshops, a lot of times is where people have these transformative experience and learn a lot, and really their eyes are open to the possibilities of the financial gain that you can get through multifamily real estate, and like the huge life shift that you can have. Like for a lot of people that attend these events, it's very monumental. Like it's a very paradigm shift in a lot of people's life once they start to learn these things. Ellie, when you went, I know that it was that impactful for you. Obviously, you took action and you've been able to acquire real estate and completely change and move across the country all under 2 years. Like that's just nuts too. Like I think we should highlight that for sure. So you've done so much. Who was your strategist when you sat down? So now you're being a strategist and you're sitting down with people at the workshops. Who was your strategist when you sat down at the workshop that you attended?
Yeah, James McCabe.
Okay. So James McCabe was your strategist. Shout out James. Amazing guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you think about your experience with James and some of those conversations that y'all had and some of those enlightenments that you received at the workshop. I'm sure you reflect back on those often. How has that experience with James benefited you now being into James's seat, talking to these new people?
Yeah. I think that James has been like my main dude. Like there's been a couple of 3 days where I've gotten actually to work with him, and we'll come up together and talk about the story of how, how the relationship started and how, like he thought it was just hilarious because Alicia and I would literally be calling his ass like every day. Like, what are we supposed to do to but we just made it a point to like really utilize him because of his wealth of knowledge. And he's just such an amazing person. And I think in every single podcast, I do a shout out to him because he had to deal with a lot with me because I was in like, oh shit, am I really about to do this? Like I was scared. I did not know
There's
this
a lot
was
of emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so emotional. I didn't even think that I was worth it. And that's what I really bring back to a lot of students is knowing your worth, knowing that you are worth all the success. And he really put that into me too. He was like, Ellie, like if you really want to do this, you're going to make it happen. Right. And then, a year and a half later, Jackson, like we are on a deal together. And it's just been amazing to see all of the success on his end and that fact that he still wants to work with me after all of the shit that I give him. So it's just been
That's awesome. Ellie, there's a lot of hurdles. Like we've talked about a lot of good stuff. We've talked about a lot of the butterflies and rainbows to do in multifamily mindset. And you've got some awesome connections. Your first partnership was great, was able to acquire some properties. Your next partnerships have been great. You've been able to acquire some more properties. We've talked about a lot, like it's turned out really well for you. Like it's like we've talked about a lot of positives, right? But obviously there's speed bumps and negatives that come up and probably have come up over these past 2 years or year and a half since being with the multifamily mindset.
Yeah.
How do you think you've been able to get through those hurdles? This is the question. How have you been able to get through those hurdles and still be able just to continue forward in acquiring these properties?
Yeah. Oh man, that's a great question. I really think it's the support in the multifamily mindset. I come from the world of sales. It's cutthroat, right? Like it's about who can get the most out of someone else, not, hey, what can I do to add success to your life and add value to your life? And I've always had that. I've always had that mentality of being like, what can we do for all of us to succeed, right? And I always say this, it's not about how much pie I take home, even though I do love pie. It's about the quality of the pie, right? And I really think that I would not again be where I am today without the community, without the coaches. Like shout out Mick Hard, DJ McCall, DJ, his wife Kim, like so many amazing people, students that have started 3-day with me that are still in it today. And I think that's huge for me, is just being able to have the support when I'm just like on the phone, like, what am I doing? I'm like crying. I'm like, this is so hard, because this is a really hard journey. But one of my favorite things that I see on Instagram, and I do post, I know it's a lot, but I post a lot of like inspirational quotes, because I want to be somebody who when they're like feeling down, whatever, and they're on Instagram, whenever they see that, they're like, oh shit, like I know I got this. I think mindset is huge. And I love, like, Dallas Pruitt, Tyler Deveraux, like you, Jackson, like everyone really preaches mindset. And I didn't realize how important that was during this journey. And I think that that's really changed for me. I did not have that mindset of knowing my worth and knowing my value and thinking that I was capable or be able to do any of this, right? And so I think that the coaching that you guys do, the community, the friends that I now call them, like, I love you, like that we're family now. And so I think that's really why I was able to get over those humps.
Man, such a good answer. And it's an answer that you hear often. Like, people really are only ever able to get higher and scale higher and become better because of the people that they're around to help support them in what it is that they're trying to accomplish. Ellie, I am so grateful that I got the opportunity to chat with you today and learn from you and just hear more about your story and the amazing impact that you're having and the amazing things that you're doing. How can people get a hold of you? How can people follow your journey, what you're doing, and maybe take you up on one of these phone calls that you're talking about, how you just jump on with people and add value? How can people get in contact with you?
Yeah. So Stacey and I have an Instagram called BNF Capital. That's our group. That's our capital.
Say it one
group.
more time, a little louder, slower.
Okay. B&F Capital.
Okay, cool.
So we have a LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And then my Instagram handle is just Ellie_Baxter with 2 R's. And same LinkedIn, it's just Ellie Baxter. My phone number, I'm going to give it out. I don't mind. Is
up to you.
I don't mind. 984-789-7586. And then my email is ellie@bandfcapital.com.
Awesome. So if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina, Iowa, you've got properties there too. If you're in those markets trying to do multifamily, it's a great connect. Definitely get in contact with Ellie. She can definitely, partnership opportunities, there's a lot there, but if anything, value will be added if you hit Ellie Baxter's line. That is 100% true. That's who she is. She walks around serving and adding value wherever she is. And Multifamily Mindset, I know you've said a lot of really good things about Multifamily Mindset today, but Multifamily Mindset is also just as grateful and just as lucky to have you a part of the network and you a part of the community here as you are to be a part of it. So we're very grateful for you, Ellie, and everything that you do for the company and just for the students and for yourself. It's been awesome to watch you transform and just blossom into an amazing businesswoman. You're amazing, Ellie. I could sit here and praise you for days, because you've got through some difficulties to get where you're at now, and it's special. It's definitely special. Ellie, as we wrap up here, what would you say to those people who are maybe like on the fence of joining the community, joining the network, joining Multifamily Mindset, that do want to do multifamily? They're not sure they want to pay that hefty price to be able to join and get the education and the coaching support. Yeah. What do you say to them?
Man, there's so many things I would say. One thing is change your mindset about money, because you have to spend money to make money. I would spend that to get to the network over and over and over again, because I would not be where I am today without the community and the education. And so a lot of times when I am talking to people in the workshops and doing it, is anything that you feel like that self-doubt or the scaredness, use that as fuel, because just because you don't know if you can do it or not, but with the community and with people that want the same things as you, it's going to happen. You just have to want it that bad. And again, I think just be able to see the students start and then be where they are today, it's just absolutely amazing. And so change your mindset about money, know your worth, know your value, know that you're worth all of the success that comes your way. And I'm talking about break society's rules. We are not meant to be working 9 to 5. And I am such a firm believer in doing more than what society tells us to do. And that freedom of time, which is my favorite currency, is 100% achievable. You just got to really want it.
Amazing. Ellie Baxter, thank you so much for your time. We'll throw all of her handles and stuff in the bio so you can follow and get in connection with her as well. We're also, I want to get the details from you as well. I'll throw this in the bio for the woman networking group that you're starting chapters of and helping with.
Yeah.
Let me get that information as well so we can add it to the bio. So the ladies listening that may need some networking, may need some help, can definitely get in contact with you that way as well. Ellie, thank you so much for your time. Please, if y'all are thinking about connecting with Ellie, definitely do. It will be very, very valuable use of your time. Ellie, appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and most importantly, go follow Ellie. Follow her journey, because she's up to big things. She's going to do amazing things. Thanks again, Ellie. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, y'all.
Multifamily Mindset Podcast. Think bigger.